Hello, welcome back to another video of F1 2019 career mode. So today we're kicking off the F1 season and the career mode properly, so just going through this, the weather, decent, no rain, which is good. So let's go to qualifying to practice. Just have a little look before we do that. But that's properly going to practice.
Welcome to Melbourne and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start?
Let's talk about Brown.
Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Well, they've been signed up likely in no small part due to the way they carried themselves in the Formula 2 Championship. They have a great track record of putting the team first. At one of the races, they even gave up their own position when their car had a technical issue, so that their teammate Lucas Weber, who also debuts here today, could get ahead. That kind of team spirit could take them a long way this season.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, two very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was a nasty clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races, as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
So as we go through the practice programs, I'm only going to be showing the practice programs for Australia. After that, we'll talk about practice, and then it will just go to qualifying, and we'll see the race for the other episodes as we make a massive mistake. I'm not sure I mentioned this in the previous episode, that actually I've always played the F1 games on if you get a purple
we got some excellent data with that run, so come on back
for
to the garage and I
the
can talk you through the numbers.
acclimatization, but I've always used the racing line, and I decided that I wanted to stop using it because I didn't really think I used it that much, so we make another big mistake there. But actually Bottas actually hitting the back of us, and that it's a bit like Canada. This year Hamilton better. Not gonna get into that. I want to know my opinion on that. Clear penalty for Vettel. At the end of the day, if he puts him in the barrier, he's getting a penalty anyway. So the fact that he nearly did still deserves it. But anyway,
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula 1. You must be thrilled.
Obviously, I am thrilled. Good to be in F1, best sport.
So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in?
Okay, just glad I've only been here 10 minutes. Not even that.
What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula 1, or do you see something more?
Hopefully a good race.
Appreciate your time.
And yeah, what I was saying with the racing line, I've always used the racing line. I've only used corners only, and I wanted to kind of steer away, try and limit the amount of assists I use. I'm always going to have to use automatic gears, for example, and braking. I'm turning it down. The braking on this is on low. So if you see me in the coming episodes braking very early for corners, I'm just trying to find the limit. But let's go to qualifying.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Let's go. And then into qualifying, I weren't too sure what to make of it. I was really struggling for pacing. Practice, I failed the qualifying pace practice program, so yeah, didn't really have much confidence going into this lap speed break. Probably a bit early, but got a decent enough line, which is good enough. But as we cut onto the end of the lap, it was a scruffy lap, what I can remember of it. It's been, I'm doing this voice over about, I bet it's nearly a week now since I recorded this video properly. I just go wide enough into the gravel. You can tell I was struggling. We skip on then back into the pits and just have a look at whereabouts we are. We're currently P13, which isn't too bad, but as you can see, we skip on to the last run of Q3. We're on to a fresh set of Q1, sorry. We're on to a fresh set of the soft tyre. Tempted to call it the super soft. Still getting used to that. We're actually last P20. But we go through turns 3 and 4. But currently up. I just kept riding that sausage curb all weekend. Going through I think it's turn 6 and turn 7. Don't quote me on the corner names. Corner numbers. Go through the hairpin chicane sort of section. And now through the most challenging part of the track, in my opinion. You got to get that right. If you get that wrong, it's so easy to lose the lap there. We skip into the final sector. Just a little bit wide there. Oh, so nearly off the track. Braking into the second to last corner. How brave can we be around the final corner? We're going to be quite brave. Let the car run out wide and up to the line, and it's only going to be good enough for last on the grid. We improved, but not enough. And for this first race, we are going to be behind Robert Kubica and George Russell. Just let that sink in. That's how much I was struggling. Not that they're bad drivers, just the Williams is a really bad car. But is that Kimi struggling? But that's so we can have a look at the rivalry now and the points, which I think I've had. Well, here's the points. We're losing the rivalry to Albon, obviously, from that dreadful qualifying. and not a lot
Obviously, I
of a
expected a better
reputation.
session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
It's going to be a very, very tough race. Now I'm just going to talk about the race before we get into it. I'm just going to talk over Crofty a little bit here. Basically, I recorded the race, I recorded everything, and I actually recorded the race on my old laptop, and getting the file across from my old laptop to my new laptop, the file corrupted. So before doing this race, I'd already recorded Australia twice, along with the F2 part twice. So you can get the gist of what. I was pretty annoyed the first time I recorded everything. The audio just was non-existent. Second time, obviously it corrupted. Well, the the Australia race did. So this is just going to be a 25% race, because this was the third time I had to record Australia, and it would have been, I would have restarted the career, it would have been fine, but when I came to edit this, I'd already recorded Bahrain, so the points and everything are going to be slightly different from the rest of the episode.
Performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen. Before we begin,
so this is what the grid would have been if the file hadn't have corrupted.
Puts him on pole. Vettel, Gasly, Lewis Hamilton, and Verstappen, Perez, Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, and Roman Grosjean. Butler, Magnussen, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Lando Norris and Albon, Stroll, Raikkonen, George Russell, and Lucas Faber, Kubica, and Brown. And with preparations, rundown looks like a fantastic.
This is the actual grid of the 25% race.
And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Perez, Gasly, Magnussen, Stroll, and Devon Butler, Grosjean, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, and Norris, Faber, Hulkenberg, George Russell, and Alexander Albon, Kubica, and Brown. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So not really much different in terms of the grid. I still qualified last, I was still struggling around Australia. So obviously the strategy is going to be one stop soft to medium. The actual strategy I did for the race that corrupted, it was a 2-stop. I did soft and then onto 2 sets of the medium. But anyway, let's go to the start of this race. And it's lights out and away we go. Leclerc and Hamilton, I think it was, both getting away well, and in the background we've got a decent start. Leclerc having to cover off both of the Mercedes into turn 1 there. Now we're going to try down the inside of Kubica and Albon, and we can see if we can get past both of these. We're going to go round the outside here of Albon, Kubica, and now Daniel Ricciardo, and we're going to pull it off. What a move that is. So now we head up with that puts us into P17. We needed a good start like that. We go down the inside of George Russell in the other Williams. We've had an absolute worldy start, as I think that's Pierre Gasly fighting off the racing point of, I'm guessing, Sergio Perez. We're going to try and go down the inside of our old teammate Lucas Weber. We're side by side with Weber, surely not. We're going to go side by side round a quick chicane. We're going to get the job done. No, we're not. Weber's going to defend to the outside, and I think we've finally got him. Have we? The camera's really awkward. We have down the inside. We've got ahead there of our old teammate. That puts us up into P15, so a very, very good start there as Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race. We can just get our head down now and just see what happens and just let this race unfold. We brake very early there, and that's a little mistake. Weber's going to come back at us here. Going to try and go to our outside. And he's going to go for it. George Russell, I think, got his nose in there as we've gone deep. There, past us goes George Russell. We're going to squeeze him out and stay ahead in P15. Does he make another little mistake? And another, we got completely off the track, but a wheel in the gravel. Past goes Russell, and past goes Weber. And past goes Daniel Ricciardo as well. We're going to try to go round the outside of Weber. Ricciardo, you can see, just went to the inside, but we've lost all 5 positions. And that has been the most scruffiest lap I think I've ever done on an F1 game. Just mistake after mistake. I was pushing too hard, and it's cost us. All the good games he made on lap 1 have just gone straight down the drain as we skip on. Then heading down towards turn 3, we'll try and get our teammate back here down the inside, and we do get past Albon, but he's still going to have his nose in there. We go through turn 4, but he is going to have to give up the position. Next up is Robert Kubica in the Williams. Albon trying to have another little look as we're going to go very late on the brakes down the inside of Kubica, and we are past the Williams there. Up into P18, and can we now chase after those in front of us? We go very, very wide through that chicane. On now, going into turn 1, Albon has got past Robert Kubica, sorry, and he's now trying to get past us around the outside. That's not going to work out for him. Heading down into turn 4, and now on into the hairpin chicane, sort of, whatever you want to call that. And now here comes Alex Albon again. He's on our outside. We're gonna still be there on his inside, and he's just cut up. And the 2 teammates, we've come together. That is one thing you don't want to see, but what is Albon doing there? I'm half alongside him, and he's just come across, left me no space, and it's only race 1, and we've already come together. So that could be risky in the future, and that's not good if potentially we got onto the mediums, if potentially I end up going to Red Bull and getting promoted, possibly replacing Pierre Gasly, if we're on our first F1 race and we've already made contact with our teammate. That's not going to be good. So, to be honest, that contact, that was pretty much our race. Let me know what you think of that. In my opinion, that was Albon's fault, but we're going to skip on to lap 11. And now on to the final lap, because nothing happened in the second half of that race. Nothing. I was just going round and round, just watching those laps tick down. So we're going to cross the line, and it's P20 on our first race, P20, P18, sorry, on our first race.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. What do you think it was?
Then Ferrari, Charles Leclerc is definitely going to be one to watch in the future. I think he's going to force Vettel out of Ferrari. The way he's been driving, nearly won 2 races this season already.
A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Ferrari then have already won more races in my career than they have in the whole of the actual F1 season so far. I mean, I know Honda are good now, but seriously, Red Bull won with Honda
So
yesterday,
let's review the updated driver standings.
or a couple of days ago.
Today's impressive results, Charles Leclerc steps into the championship lead. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Nico Hülkenberg did an excellent job out on the track today. He played aggressively and knew exactly when to capitalise on openings throughout the race.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings.
I point out, look who retired. I didn't show it in the race. I tried to find it, I couldn't find it whilst editing it. But Devon Butler retired. All that talking in F2, and look where it got him. P18 with car trouble. P20 with retirement, mate.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. How do you think Devon will react to having not been able to finish today's race?
He'll probably be looking for a new team. But we're going to be cheeky. He should have had our car.
You had a bit of contact today. Who was at fault there?
Albon. I'm half alongside him, and he's come across and left me
It
nowhere to
wasn't
go.
the cleanest race today, was it?
No. But it wasn't the most exciting either.
You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
I don't really know without question.
Appreciate your time.
So that was what a bore. I can't put that race into words. It was going well. It had potential to be exciting, and then Albon, cut across, and took us out of the race. But we've got a nice chunk of points. Obviously, those points aren't relevant to the championship because, like I said before the race, the file corrupted, so this episode doesn't really mean anything, but it does, but it doesn't. You still got to see Australia.
Commiserations on that result.
Next episode in Bahrain, we'll be back to the proper career. But you can see all of this. We're going to have a quick look at what Lucas Weber had been saying.
Give you an insight on how your former Formula 2 rivals are handling the press. Be sure to check your emails regularly, as I'll be sure to send you any of the more, let's say, interesting press transcripts that come my way. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical
I'll do
event.
the event off camera, or I won't do it off. Actually, no, I won't even do it. I don't think I did it anyway. I've already recorded up to Canada at this point. So,
Your first rival is always your teammate.
But there'll be no video next week. I'm away, but after that, double uploads. I will leave you though with the race highlights. Not like there really was any. So, till the next one. Goodbye.